Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes on Sunday afternoon. This has been a weekend, but it's not been a bad weekend. It's just been very busy with lots of different things. So let me go ahead and just thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping in and spending this time with me. Thank you for being patient with me if you've been waiting for this video. I actually got some things made this week. And these I'm just going to show quickly. I actually made them for Whimsy Stamps, and that video is up over on their channel right now if you want to hop over there and see it. I'll try to remember to link to it. In fact, let me start my list of things that I need to link to because I don't want to forget anything. Link to Whimsy. Cones. Okay. So I am calling these treat cones, Halloween treat cones. So I literally took a sheet of 6x6 paper, curled it kind of corner to corner, hot glued it, add the trim, add the little hanger, and then add the rosette and the image. So all of the images are from this stamp set. It's called Primitive Halloween. It's new this year. It has become a favorite of mine. It really has. So if you want to hop over there and see how I made these, see that whole process, yeah, I would invite you to do that. But for now, I'm going to move them out of sight. I just wanted you to see what I've been working on this weekend. And I made at least a dozen of these. I pulled out way more papers than I could, well, I can't say than I could possibly ever use. And I could use for this weekend. So with that being said, once I got that video done, I was able to get back to making these cards. So I remembered that I had this stamp. I had put it aside and then it got buried. You know how that goes. This was a gift from my sweet friend, Miss Tina Kappa, Crafty Bean. And yeah, I absolutely adore this stamp, but I literally just forgot that I had it. And when I went to cleaning and organizing and I found the stash that she sent me, I was like, oh yeah, this gets used this weekend. And then in my drawer, I had this, if you can tell, no, it went this way. No, it didn't, it went this way. Anyway, this was one long strip of paper, and it was one that I had made the background with, what are they called? They're not Brushos, Lindy's. Sorry, I needed a sip. I made them with Lindy's. I don't even remember what project I made them for, or made the background for, to be honest. But I just thought that this stamp would be so cool, stamped and heat embossed in black over all that kind of muddy rainbow, and I wasn't wrong. So let's look at them one by one, right? So I'll scoot these things aside, and we can pull them out as we need them. So we'll look at this one first. This was my first one. I absolutely love this. But we're going to start with the papers, right? We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. So this paper is from this book that I got on Amazon. And I've started to buy a couple more of these, but I've barely scratched the surface of this one. And I've even given a lot of it away. I've done a lot of die cuts with it, and there's so much left in this book. So I'm trying to, if you can believe it, I'm trying to show some restraint. Now, later I'll be doing a crafty haul video, and you will not think that I've shown any restraint whatsoever. But anyway, that's where that one came from. This is from Whimsy Stamps. I think it's called Starred Hearts, something like that. Gosh, I can't remember the name, and I'm not going to try to pull that out at this point. But anyway, it's from one of the Whimsy Stamps packs. This one is actually, let me slow my roll. What's it from? This was given to me by a crafty friend, and it feels like wallpaper, but it was all bound in like a little book. And it could have been a wallpaper sample, but I feel like it was from a crafty retailer. I can't remember because I took off everything just so that I could have better access to it. But y'all know that I love me some black and white, black and cream. This is silver and white. That's not quite my favorite, but I could still put those things to use, you know it. So definitely held on to this, and I've used it in different ways. So this was one. So see how it has the perforation there? I just folded it and tore it off. And then I have a tear. You can't really see the tear at this point. But this side is torn, and then this side is die cut. Now the dies that I use to make those backgrounds are the Wonky Stitched rectangle dies, again from Whimsy. Now I stamped this one. I did some partial die, or I die cut this one by doing partial die cutting, shifted it down and die cut it again, because I really just wanted this orange frame. I wanted more of this to show. And this one I actually did some partial die cutting as well, but I used this die, and then I did it about halfway, and then I shifted it down to the bottom of the cardstock that I had already done all the jelly, not the jelly, the miracle, what are they called? Magicals, the magicals and the stamping and heat embossing on, and I didn't want to lose any of it if I didn't have to. I know I've kind of covered it up down here, but in terms of the die cutting, that's what I did. I did it about halfway, shifted it down, and then did it this way. And then the die kind of met there in the middle. But that was how I was able to get these bigger than the actual dies. Does that make sense? But this one I did not die cut at all. I just glued it on. Again, I just wanted something like a contrasting pattern over here. And so if you mix different sizes of patterns and colors that coordinate, it works just fine. And I wanted the same distance, but I just glued it from the top to the bottom, and then I snipped off the excess. And I think it turned out really cool. Now this Joy is also from Whimsy, and it again is new this year. This is the Joy word die set, and it is intended to be for Christmas, but I did not use the little ornament in the center. Instead, I used the skull. Oh, do I have easy access to it? I do. I used the skull and crossbones from this set, and I can't remember what it's called. And it is one of a few that I don't have a label on. So, but if you, it's a bookmark, a tombstone bookmark die set. So if you go on Whimsy's channel and you pull it up, you'll see it. But that's the skull and crossbones. And obviously I cut it out of black and white so that I could layer it, because the black was just kind of fading into the abyss that is that background. But I think it's really cute. Now this trim is, the sun is shining brightly in through my window, which I love, but it also makes it very hard to see. And I'm just not seeing the black trim. Oh, here it is. It's under my remote control. Right here. It's very textured. It has a really cool weave to it. And I love that. I love that it's a little bit more rustic. Like this brown one is nice and tight and clean. But this one, look at the difference. Like the black one's thicker and it's messy. But I like that messiness. I like that messiness. I've said before, I'm a messy crafter. Now this little cabochon was just in my stash, and I almost didn't use it. Let me show you. So I have this little storage box. I have a lot of different things in here, but I don't know where I got this little mix. I want to say it may have been from Sassy and Crafty before she closed her doors. I'm not really sure anymore. But yeah, I had several that I thought could work. But I really liked that. It's kind of a yellowy, kind of an orange. Just depends on how the light hits it. And then I put a sparkle gem, one of the gloss black sparkle gems, right in the middle. And I just thought that was super cute. Hot glued it down, and it's perfect. It's not going anywhere. But also I wanted a dangle. So maybe it's a little bit of overkill. I don't know. Personal preference, right? So I have this little garment pin and this little spider web charm. These are from my stash. I have, most of this was bought on Amazon. So I have all of these different metals for the bulb pins. I used this one, but I started to use black, but then I didn't have what I wanted in black. I was going to use this skull, which I thought that would be really cool, but I want to make earrings out of these. I just need to get to it. So I then found this skull and crossbones, which I thought would be really cool as well. He's a skeleton and there's a skull and crossbones at the bottom. But it's super tiny and it's that bright shiny silver, and I just didn't want that. I just didn't want the bright shiny silver. So I dug through this little stash and this little stash, and I found the spider web, and I said, okay, spider web it is. And just a few minutes ago, as I was cleaning up, getting ready for this, I found this little scrap of that cardstock. It's not really cardstock, it's more of a layering weight. It's very thin, but it is printed on both sides. But anyway, I found it and it was already torn kind of nicely, and so I just glued it down. Why waste it? So that is that. I love it. I think it's really fun. It's bright and colorful, but still dark and moody. And it says joy. I mean, he just looks joyful, right? He's dancing. He's joyful. Then this one is super cute too. Sorry, I had some pistachios before I started filming and my mouth is really dry from the sodium. So this black and white is actually, it's a bag. I think this one was from Honeybee. This one definitely was. So I love, again, that black and white, that graphic contrast, that bold graphic contrast. And I just went ahead and die cut the whole thing, and obviously it made 2 layers. So now I have another one already made. And then the rest of these little layering pieces over here were just in my stash. So I'll bring a handful over here and show you what I was working with. If I can gather them up. So I like options when I'm creating. So I also had these out. These were gifted to me by my sweet friend Becky, the Whimsical Witch. And I had these pulled out. This was from Tina Kappa. So I just had all of this out. And then I had these. I went into my orange file folder. So I have file folders full of scraps, and they are rainbow order. I don't always keep them in rainbow order in the drawer, but I know if I pull out the red folder, it has red cardstock in it, or red scraps in it. So this was the scrap of this. This obviously is a scrap of this one. This was from a Honeybee set, and I thought that could actually look really cool. It's a lot of the same colors, but I ended up not using it. And then this is another layering weight. It's from a paper pad that I bought, I don't even know how long ago. I think this one's ready to go in the trash. So, but I've held on to these because I just love that color palette. It's just so much fun. And I thought it kind of pulled out some of those colors as well, but I wanted it to be further away because this does have these more pinky, purpley, muddy colors at the top. But that's why I put this guy over here, and I put it under this layer. And then I had, these are from Stampin' Up. They're old. I actually bought them off of a Facebook group. I thought this would be really cool, but it's actually more of a reddy orange, and it just didn't work. These two are favorites as well, and they've been in my stash forever, but I have not found the right opportunity to use them, so they just stay in my stash until I'm ready. And then I had these solid colored guys that I thought I was going to use as well. See different colors on this one. It's a little bit yellower, it's a little bit oranger. And so I landed on that one. And then this was from a Simon Says stamp card kit from a couple years ago. On the other side, it has tiny little jack-o'-lantern faces. So that's where all of that came from. Let me move these back out of the way, and then I'll show you the die and stamp set where I got the Happy and Day. So the Happy is from the Happy Camper die set. And again, I layered the black on the white. It's just the word Happy. I like that font. I think it is happy. And again, he just looks happy. Like, I know it says Dance Macabre, but I feel like he's happy. And then the Hello came from this one, and it's the Hello Bear. So that is everything. I've already showed you the sparkle gems. So I have a few more sparkle gems. Well, I have more sparkle gems because this one only has this little guy in the middle. But those are my makes for this Saturday/Sunday morning makes. And I just thank you guys for being with me today. Thank you for your patience. And I will be back in just a little bit with a Happy Mail weekend video because I've received some happy mail and I want to share that with you. And then I'll also record a haul video that might need to be broken into two. And the Happy Mail weekend will be released today, but the others will be tomorrow or later. So we'll just see how that works out. But I'll be back very soon. So stay tuned. And again, thank you for spending time with me. Mwah. Happy Saturday morning makes. Hop on over to see Jill Norwood. She has some amazing announcement this weekend. And I don't want to give her story away. It's her story to tell, but it's very exciting. So if you've not already hopped over there, please hop over there. I will link to her channel because you want to go see not only her Saturday morning makes video, but probably her last 3 or 4 videos. So I will just link directly to Jill and hop over to her. And she also gives a little more insight into what Saturday morning makes is for those of you who may not be aware. So I am going to tap out. And again, I thank you and I'll see you very soon. Bye.